Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sleepover. I'm your host, Charli, and today I am joined by a couple of people that I've been trying to pressure to come on the podcast for a couple of months now, and they're finally here. It is the Thrive Wellness team. Yay! You guys heard me talk about my life-changing massage. These are the ladies that made it happen.
Yes.
So we have Dr. Heather and we have Kendra, who's my massage therapist.
Hello.
Hi there.
Introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Dr. Heather. I'm a naturopath and owner of Thrive Wellness and excited to be here tonight.
I'm Kendra. I'm a medical massage specialist, and I work with Heather at Thrive Wellness.
Awesome. Okay, so I did a solo episode by myself where I talked about the benefits that I had of my life-changing massage and how that worked. And so let's talk about like how we got to that place, because I think that there's a lot of people that have been messaging me about like, how do you find such good providers? And so like it took a little while. It didn't just happen overnight. So we can talk about how we got to the place that we did, where it finally, like, it was a lot of work just to get to the point where we figured out what help I needed. So let's start with Heather.
Yeah, so what we did was we talked about getting together and doing a scan and then joining together with Kendra. So we would see what are the results of the scan, what are some areas, specific areas that should be worked on. And so we just kind of went from there. At first, when we met for her consultation, we went over just things that we've been working on. We had already established some baselines and some areas that we were working on. But then looking at her scans, we discovered that there was some things I think that you shared with, things that with your jaw, and that showed up in her scan. So when I was able to convey that to Kendra, we invited Kendra into the meeting, and when I was able to convey that to her, then she was able to share with us, I had this issue, from growing up and different work that she had done. And then I was able to pass that off to Kendra, and then Kendra took over and did some great work to help.
Talk to everyone about your scans, because I lovingly call it holding the cans, but that's not what it is.
Right. So, so it's bioenergetic scans, and you hold some electrodes, not holding the cans, but holding some electrodes. But by doing that, we're able to scan the body's energy pathways. And in doing so, we're able to detect a lot of information. So when I do a scan regularly for people, we're looking for your nutrients. So we're talking about vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, amino acids, all that. We look at your hormones and your neurotransmitters. We look at your stress level. We look at your emotions. And we even look at your vertebral signatures and your teeth signatures. So that's just more information to kind of validate what we're seeing. So that's what I do for most. I also have advanced things that I do with people. So I have a lot of people that come to me with severe allergies or chronic illnesses. So I really love to help people that maybe they have Lyme or maybe Epstein-Barr or maybe a mast cell activation syndrome or POTS. So those are some things that we can definitely look and see, what are the scans saying, what is the body able to handle. That's an important part too, is we have to look at what is the body able to tolerate and handle. Sometimes people come to me and they're in such a fragile state, we have to go very slow, or maybe just use homeopathics only. So those are some of the things that I really like to, work out with my clients.
Yeah. Something else we could talk about that, like, never have I ever recorded an episode and had a red light therapy on me, but that's what we're doing right now. And it's pretty fun. Talk about red light therapy. Maybe that's a Kendra thing.
Well, red light therapy works with your blood cells and helps boost your immune system. And the red light therapy that I use, it will penetrate deep into the bone and actually affect the bone marrow to help boost your blood cell count
That's
and
legit.
your immune system.
Nice.
So you're getting a lot of good stuff right now.
Yes,
And it's
I
very
feel
bright.
it working right now, actually. Yes.
Tell me how you got into massage therapy. Why'd you want to do that?
Yeah.
I come from a family with a lot of health issues, and I really wanted to get into massage in order to just help my family to start with. And the more I learned, the more I wanted to use that to help other people.
Mm-hmm. What kind of certifications do you have? Because I feel like yours is a little bit different than any other massage I've ever had.
I have done most of my continued education along the lines of medical techniques to address a lot of different medical illnesses, diseases, and to help people recover from injuries and prevent injuries and just prevent becoming sick.
Yeah. So preventative medicine is a lot of what you guys do at Thrive Wellness. And the thing that I love about Thrive Wellness is it's like a community of people. It's not just like one provider that only does one thing. Like it's like a mixture of things. So I don't know. I think I might be your first client that has done like a swap-a-roo, because I somewhat feel like a guinea pig, but I'm totally happy to be a guinea pig because nothing I've done in my life has worked to this day, except for like, I mean, I've had like situations with my health where it's like gotten better for like a little bit and then like it eventually plateaus or whatever. So we're still in the getting better like phase. I haven't seen like where it's plateaued or anything yet, but like I don't know if it was my idea or Heather's idea or what, but when you guys moved into your new space, I was like, you guys are all here, like let's see if we can figure out a way that you guys can like communicate with each other, because I had a massage with Kendra. I think I had a massage with Kendra first, right?
Before seeing me?
No, not before seeing you. No, okay. I just had the idea, and then we did it. That was my first massage with Kendra.
You asked if we could collaborate before you got your massage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are wanting to collaborate more. We feel like that we can benefit our clients so much better. There's so many things. Like we were talking to this one lady that was having a trigger finger issue. And so, of course, she can see Kendra, and Kendra can show her some great techniques to help her. She can actually work on her and help with that trigger finger technique. But if you want to get down to the root cause of it, you know, there's calcifications that are there. That means that she's having calcium absorption issues. Why is that? So then that's where I come in, and I can help to neutralize that, or, you know, balance that out and figure out ways that, okay, do we need to dissolve calcium deposits? Do we need to help her body have the nutrients it needs to absorb the calcium better and not get that trigger finger? So the ways that we can collaborate are numerous with different like health conditions. So,
Yeah. So like originally when I first came in here, I started seeing Dr. Heather first. And I think the first month that I came here, you put like my scans came back as like I had like a lot of food sensitivities at first, and then you put me on some drops, which I don't really know what go in the drops, and people always ask me, and I'm like, I don't know. She just like puts her magic voodoo in there, and it just does what it's supposed to do.
That's right.
And so then, so I had, for like a month, I like wasn't able to eat a bunch of things, but then I slowly started adding things back in, and I was doing all the drops, and then we had established like some, like where I was starting to make progress with my scans. And then it got to a point where I was like, when you moved into this new building, I was like, oh, we could totally do a collaboration. And then I did a scan, and it came back that there was like so much tension in my jaw. And then I explained that I had like this orthodontic procedure, or well, like appliance that I had, it's like outdated or whatever, that had left a ton of scar tissue in my cheeks. And so Heather helped me, or like pinpoint that as a place that needed help, and then tell Heather that. And I think that that's really cool. And we've just like grown from there. Like in our latest appointment, like we talked, I just like, I don't know, I kind of have like a little more of like a connection. Like I've been trying to work with like my body and like come close to like being able to communicate with what my body needs. And so like my body just kept telling me like, you need to like release your trauma and get rid of it. And then like Heather was able to like look through her scans and see like, okay, you had a specific trauma that was involved with this and that, and this is your specific like breath work and your mantras that you need to take into trauma releasing massage. And literally I was crying in this massage, and Kendra did such a good job to like help me release some of this stuff. And I'm still not like, I'm not healed by any means, but I'm like on a journey of like trying to release this stuff because I have so much and I don't know what to do with it. And like it's really cool to like have an experience where you can like, it's not just your like, here's a pill and it'll fix you. It's not just that. It's like all of the things that your body is telling you, it means something. And I feel like that's so validating. And just like having you as a provider is like so validating. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like what you said about what our body is telling us. So a lot of times we don't really pick up on it. So we live in this constant state of not feeling great, maybe having a pain that we're just so used to that we don't really pay attention to it anymore. But when you start to release that, or we are able to give the body what it needs so that it can not feel bad, and you start feeling better and you start listening to your body, that's when real healing starts to happen. I love teaching and training our clients to listen to their body.
What are some tips that you have for people to listen to their body?
So sometimes, I mean, okay, we can talk about intuition, like people can be very intuitive and just go, I just kind of have a sense. But sometimes you might feel drawn to a particular nutrient, or sometimes it might be a craving for a food, but in that food there is a nutrient that your body is craving, or vice versa. Like it can be that you are being repelled off of some food. Maybe there's a fish that you just don't like, but your body might truly have a sensitivity to it, so you're listening to your body by not partaking in that or whatever. But we do teach people how to ask their body if something is good for your body, if you can tolerate it for your body, and those are great ways to learn to trust what your body knows that it needs and knows that it can handle.
How do you ask your body what it needs?
So you ask your body, so you start out by asking a true or false statement. Okay, so a lot of times I will say a statement like my name. Okay, so I'll say my name is Heather, and you'll want to be standing when you do this. This is very similar to kinesiology, muscle testing, that type of thing. So it's just a very simple sway test is what it is. And so you say something true. So my name is Heather. And when I say that, I will feel a pull on my body. And if I pull forward, then that's fine. Then that is my true. Okay, that's my yes. And then if I say a false statement, so I can say it is 25 degrees and snowing in Siloam Springs right now. That's a false statement, and I will get a push or a pull in another direction. So that's my false. So once I've established my true false or my yes no, then I can pretty much ask my body anything within reason. I can ask my body, do I need vitamin D? And I will get a yes or a no. So then I'll know, okay, my body says it needs vitamin D. So then I can say, well, can I tolerate vitamin D? I think that's a really important question. Sometimes we leave that out. Sometimes our body knows what it needs, but it can't really tolerate it right now. So you have to be kind of cautious with that. So that's one way that I love to help our clients be able, like, empower our clients to know what they need at home. I think it's important to teach and to empower our clients to be advocates for themselves.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
What do you think? What is the number one thing that you start out teaching people, Kendra?
Just to be aware of how they feel in the environment they're in. It's important to know how you feel. Like, do you feel safe? Do you feel awkward? Just in order to address what's going on with yourself, you want to start in a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
And we try really hard to create that in this place.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want people to feel safe.
Yes.
And when you're in a position where you're trying to work on your healing, it's important to have that type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and your body's going to know whether you're safe or not.
Yes.
That is something that I've noticed that when I go into different spaces, your body knows what space that is, whether you consciously are aware of it or not. They always talk about how you shouldn't do your homework or you shouldn't do work in your room because that's where you go to relax and that's where you go to sleep because so you're not going to get good sleep if you're mixing your stuff in there.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that's quite accurate. Yes.
Yeah. We have created a vibe that we are very kind of proud of. We have, when people come here, they know that they are in a safe place. They know that they are going to be heard. And we have been very intentional with that. We haven't mentioned our other key player that's here, and that's Stacy. And we just absolutely love Stacy. Our clients love Stacy.
She sets the stage when people walk in.
She does.
Yes.
She's like the energy of our place. She just really gets to know our clients so well. She will, if you come in and you are having a bad day, she's going to know it. She's going to say, hey, what's going on?
Tell everybody what Stacy's
wanna...
official job is.
So Stacy is the everything. She's the receptionist when you walk in. She's also our detox specialist. So she's the one who gets you set up for doing your foot bath or doing your biomat or getting into the infrared sauna. But she really is the glue around here, and she's everyone's friend.
Yes.
She really is. That's one thing that we have just created here, been very intentional, is that people are going to come in and they are going to feel rest. They're going to feel rejuvenation, and they're going to feel loved and welcome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing I can say about Stacy is she usually is the person that is behind the phone for the business. So you can text in to Thrive Wellness and be like, hey, can Heather see me on Thursday? And she'll be like, yes, what time do you want? She just immediately texts right back. It's like talking to a friend. You don't have to worry about having to call in and get on a specific schedule and then making sure that you have specific forms filled out. Stacy will make it all happen for you. So that's my 2 cents of love for Stacy.
Yeah.
So what are some tips that you have for people finding, if they don't live near you and can't come to your office, do you do virtual appointments? Do you, what, if they want to go hold the cans where they live, what should they look at?
Yeah, so there's a couple of answers there. So as far as getting a scan with me, I can do that virtually. So, and I have clients that are all over the world. So that's really easy. Just call, get on the schedule. And, if you're sharing this with a family member or somebody that lives out of state, all we need to do is we need to get a sample collection from them. It's just like a saliva sample and hair sample. And it gets mailed in, and then we get to run the scans and have a meeting via Zoom or whatever.
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of sounds like a like one of the telephone psychic.
Oh, right.
But
Yeah.
like tell people the science behind it so it's not so weird.
Okay, so it's rooted in quantum physics, but I use your DNA from the energy of your DNA when you mail it in. So that's why I get the saliva and the hair sample, and then I'm able to run the scans based on that. So it's always very accurate, and you don't have to worry about that you're not right here holding the cans. So yeah, I have people in Africa that I've been able to help them greatly, and without ever meeting them in person. So there are other, there's other Quest practitioners out there, and if you wanted to find somebody maybe in your area or close to you, I have a directory, so you could just let me know and we can check your area and I can put you in touch with a Quest practitioner. Not all Quest practitioners operate the same. Some have different niches. Some are more emotions based, some are more physical, so but I'd be happy to put you in contact. So
yeah, for sure. One other really cool thing about Thrive Wellness in general is that, like, I feel like when you come in here, it's like women helping women. And that I'm a wholehearted believer that women helping women is how we're going to change the world. Like
yeah.
that. And so like this, like, I feel like this community is like women helping women, changing their little piece of like everybody that they touch. And so I think that is a really important thing. And that's another thing that I try to do with, like, even my podcast is like, there are some men that listen to my podcast, but the vast majority of people that listen to me are women. And like the people I'm trying to help are people who like don't have connections to other people. And like they need an hour to like talk to a friend, but they don't have a friend to talk to, or they don't have time to talk to a friend. And so that's why I try to create like a teeny tiny little piece of like virtual what you guys are trying to do at Thrive. So that's why I was like, you guys got to come on the show because you're like the same. You're the same as me.
yeah.
Connection's important.
Connection is important, and self-care is important. And I think that we as women are starting to realize, or at least I hope people are starting to realize, that we need to do those things for self-care. Whether it's, going to see a practitioner, or going to get your weekly massage, or meeting up with a friend and just having a chat or reading a book. But whatever it is, like, as women, we have so many roles, so many hats that we wear, and we talk about this all the time. You can't pour from an empty cup. So you have to take the time. You have to do some things for yourself, and then don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty that you're caring for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I talked about this recently on an episode, I think it was last week, where we talked about how on social media all the time they talk about how like you have to be accomplishing all of these self-care things on top of taking care of your kids, or going to your like demanding job and like paying all of your bills and making sure that you're getting your teeth cleaned, or like whatever it is. Like you have this whole big long list of things, and on top of that you have to do self-care. Like it feels like that when you're on social media, like everybody else is doing it, why aren't you doing it? But we kind of like got into that in the last episode, saying like, even if you don't have like a specific, like you don't write in your journal every night, or you don't do a 1 hour meditation or whatever it is that is like currently trending on social media, like you still are doing things to make an effort to create a lifestyle that has that just in it. And so like recently I talked to you in one of my appointments. You're like, what's something that you do every night to try and help you get rid of your anxiety? Like I do visualizations on things. Like I don't have like a specific, like I don't work out every day. Like I don't like do all that, but I do have things that I do that are like second nature to me that like help me get through hard times. And I think it's just as important. Like you don't have to, self-care doesn't have to be a thing that like you have to put on your list, and it has to be like, it has to like be what everybody else is doing on Instagram. Like you don't have to go to a yoga class if that's not your jam.
Not a
Like,
one
but,
size fits
yeah,
all.
it's not a one size fits all. You have to like figure out what's gonna work for you realistically.
Yeah.
So yeah, you seem
Yeah,
like you have
good
something
point.
to say about that, Kendra.
There's no one size fits all when it comes to self care, and we all juggle so many different things. Just taking care of a household is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of single moms do it all the time, but they don't feel like they can ask for help so they can get the self-care in because what they do is so demanding, but a lot of people don't see that for just how amazing it is for someone to be able to take that on and be there for their children like that. And people that have a demanding career, like you have to take care of your home when you go home. So when do you fit in the self-care?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you're pushing yourself so hard and you're not taking those steps to care for yourself, you end up, and we were talking about this before, it's like the expense of getting sick. And so our main goal here at Thrive is to help be preventative in our approach. So we want to prevent you from getting sick. We want to prevent you from having that hitting the wall and having like chronic fatigue and feeling like you can't get out of the bed, or prevent you from a surgery or something. So like, meeting with Kendra and addressing what's going on in the body, and that can save you time. It can save you oodles of money and stuff like that. So that's one of our goals, is we want you to feel better and we want it to be preventative. So that's,
I think a lot of people get scared away by like not it's like it's a healthcare modality that like isn't covered by insurance or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that like at the end of the day, when you go to like a place like Thrive, or when I come to Thrive, I feel like I'm getting more bang for my buck than I ever would at a place that would accept insurance, because like you come in, you get 5 minutes of a doctor's time. They're going to charge your insurance $800. You're still going to have to pay $300 of that. And then you have to pay for the tests and the labs and the medicine, like all of the things. But like when you come into Thrive Wellness and you go and you're a patient here, or client, do you call them client?
Client.
When you're a client here, they like you get an hour of Heather's time, and she like not only that, but she will have done her homework before you even get there.
Yeah. So we really try to make it affordable. We feel like we are very affordable, and I know that a big drawback is having to come out of pocket for something. But I feel like even within the healthcare system, just like you mentioned, you're going to come out of pocket, whether it's you're paying monthly for your insurance, you have a deductible, so it's like you're coming out anyway. So why not take that money and put it into something where you're going to feel better, and do it in an environment that cares, wants to hear how you're feeling, wants to address what's really going on, and not just shuffle you off. So
We have a lot of tools that we like to incorporate in every visit, just to try to get the most out of your time.
yeah, time is valuable.
It's very valuable.
Yeah, Kendra always talks about how she's like, I want to be able to fit the most that I can in every single appointment. So that's why I need all these extra tools to help me get work done quicker.
Yes, the body is so complex.
Talk about your Evasio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's a form of microcurrent, direct microcurrent, and it addresses so many different systems in the body. Well, every system in the body. And it has like different settings to address different things. But I can work on scar tissue, regeneration, and help people just get their mobility back, increase their range of motion.
Talk about fascia.
Fascia. Okay. So when we get dehydrated, our fascia and our muscle can really stick together.
What is fascia?
It's like the thinnest layer of muscle in our body, and it helps us hold our shape. So it's wrapped around everything, all of our muscles, all of our bone structure, every fiber of our muscle is surrounded by fascia. So it's very complex, and it's very important, and it gets overlooked a lot. And Avasia really helps me address that, along with organs and other systems in the body all at one time.
How does it do that?
Magic. It's just magic.
So it's like a biofeedback
Yeah.
with the microcurrent. So it also addresses like the nerves, and it communicates through the nerves to the brain from the muscles.
And like when I was in my last massage, you had it on, and it like kept beeping, and then you told me something about every time it beeps.
Okay, so the unit that I have, it's not the highest end, so it doesn't tell me what's going on. So I have to pay attention to the signals that it's giving off. So it will tell me when there's been a change in tissue, and like how big of a change. So the little beeps is like a smaller, and the longer the beeps, the more change there was. And then I know like which setting to change it to. So there's multiple settings to address different things. So each session will be different, because sometimes we might be addressing something different. But I also like to include addressing like the spleen and the liver to help with detox with every session that I use it in.
Talk about lymphatic drainage.
Lymphatic drainage.
Oh,
Yes.
It's kind of trendy right now.
Yes, it seems like here recently a lot more people have been turning to lymphatic drainage for more detox purposes. There is a lot of issue with edema when there's injury or certain illnesses, and with things like POTS syndrome. A lot of people, their lymphatic system is just really sluggish, and it doesn't want to move like it's supposed to. So the Avasia helps me to also address that quicker.
How is the lymphatic system supposed to work?
When our muscles move, it's supposed to pump it. So like our circulatory system depends on the heart. Well, our lymphatic system depends on our muscles and movement. So when we have injuries and illness and we can't move like we need to, then that ends up turning into toxins in our body just building up, and it makes us sicker.
And we're very, very sedentary.
Yes.
So that makes it to where we're not moving our lymph at all too.
Everything's turned so technical.
Yeah.
Everything. It's like technology is just, everything's formed around it now to make the world function.
Yeah.
So we have to set more. And I think that is true for just about everyone nowadays.
Yeah, so I want to bring in a key piece of what I do that is connected with the lymphatic and with toxins. So I always test every single person for MTHFR. So MTHFR is a genetic mutation that a lot of people have. We're not aware of it. There's many different SNPs on the DNA strand that where there can be a breakdown with the detoxification process, the methylation process at the cellular level. So that is one thing that it's very foundational, and I address it with every single client. But that is something that if your body already is not able to process toxins and get them efficiently out of the body, that lymphatic drainage is crucial. It's crucial because we need to move the toxins, we need to move the lymph and allow the body to start to get those toxins out. So a lot of times we actually do a combo special for anybody who wants it, that you can get a lymphatic drainage massage with Kendra and then follow it with an ionic foot bath. And that is so effective. I just can't even press it enough, especially if you are MTHFR. If you come in, you get that lymphatic drainage, follow it with a foot bath, you're going to see the The water that when you do your foot bath is going to be so dirty and nasty.
Talk about foot baths.
Yeah, so foot baths, that's a lot of what we do here. People come in, they feel so much better. It's like you're getting toxins out of the body. So of course you're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to sleep better. And so we tell you that the dirtier, the better. Like, we want to see that water get nasty. If you come in and that water's not nasty, then we know you're not detoxing as good as you can, as good as you should.
How does a foot bath work?
So it puts a ionic, so polar charge. So think of positive and negative charges. Okay. So in our body, it works by putting the positive charge into the water. It's going to draw negatively charged toxins. And then it switches halfway through. It'll switch to like a negative charge, putting negatively charged ions into the water, and then it's pulling positively charged toxins, and then it opens up the detox pathways in the liver. So even after you have finished your foot bath, your body continues that process of detoxification for at least 48 hours after. So we recommend, if somebody's going to come in and you're wanting to actively get into a mode of detoxification, you should come in once or twice a week and get a foot bath to keep your detox pathways open and flowing. Yeah.
How does it distinguish like negative toxins from like regular cells?
From regular cells, because I think those toxins, they're like unstable. They must have like a charge to them in some form or fashion. Which okay, that leads me into something else that we do. We have a IV nurse that comes. And so that makes me think of the ozone, because ozone, we do IV ozone therapy and we do IV hydration. And the ozone is an unstable molecule. And again, it like attaches to or draws to itself charged molecules or cells, molecules. So if there is a pathogen, if there is a virus, a bacteria, it is going to draw to the ozone, and then it's going to be able to kill it or get it out of the body. So it's very effective. If you are sick, if you've had just a bad run with like a flu or a pneumonia or COVID, that coming and getting an ozone therapy is very effective. It is really effective for cancer, hugely effective for cancer. And then also different allergic flare-up type things. What am I thinking? Autoimmune issues. When you have a flare and you have all that inflammation that's happening, it can be very effective for that too. And then the IV hydration, that's just good in general. Like if you're dehydrated, if you're feeling run down. So just for myself this past week, talking about self-care and not feeling guilty over it, for a minute I was feeling guilty, but I knew that I have just been running myself crazy, and I knew that getting some IV hydration was going to really help, and it has. So I was able to get, what did I get? I got the NAD.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So NAD, they call it the fountain of youth. It gives you energy. It gives you mental clarity, so much. And then I also got the alpha lipoic acid, and that too is great for energy and memory and those kind of things. And so, I think just sometimes we have to look and go, okay, we need it, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Because I have done an IV bag here before too, and I was like, what is this ozone therapy? She's like, that's not necessarily for everyone. You have to like put the bag on the floor and let your blood drain into it. Is that real life?
So they draw out blood, yes, and then they mix it with the ozone. So it's not like a vampire they're going to drain you. No, but
I just wanted to warn everyone because
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay, absolutely, I know that one's not for me.
they mix your blood with the ozone and then they put it back in you. Yeah. So
They infuse it with
they
the
infuse
ozone.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The ozone, like, is it the same? Like, maybe this is a stupid, dumb, blonde question, but is it the same ozone of like the oxygen barrier around the Earth, ozone?
I don't know. I don't know if that's like a ozone, like with the extra oxygen molecule attached. I don't know.
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If only we had our IV nurse
There's
here.
a scientist that's
yes.
listening probably that could answer that.
Yeah,
us.
for sure. They're gonna write in
if
the
anyone
comments
knows
if you
the
know.
answer, let us
Yeah,
know.
let us know.
We want to know.
You also have like a open office space in your building too. Aren't you looking for, what kinds of people are you looking for? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm like peer pressuring Casey. Come be a midwife here.
Yeah, so we do have great plans and ideas. We are hoping that if we could get a chiropractor or an acupuncturist or a midwife, Casey, or what else? Life coach. We've talked about a couple of life coaches. We do have one that should be joining us here really soon. So we're excited about that, but we want a couple of life coaches so they can have different specialties and niches. The one that we're going to be coming on board with, it has more of the push of when you're kind of stuck and you don't know which way to go and you're looking for purpose in life and motivation and can kind of set you on course and help you determine what's your passion. So that's the one that we've already been talking to you, but we'd love to have one that maybe focuses in trauma or, and the other thing we are starting and we're really excited about it is our nutrition.
Ooh,
so we have
yes.
a lot of people that come to us and they are concerned about their weight. They are, they're trying different things. They're not making any headway. And so, Kendra does a lymphatic drainage for inches loss. Yes. And then we were wanting to combine that with some nutrition and helping people get on a personalized nutrition plan. So do you want to tell them about your weight loss, your inches loss?
Yes, so it's another way to address the lymphatic system and help move more fluid in the abdomen out and the rest of the body. Mm-hmm. So where fluid accumulates, inches accumulate, and sometimes just having all that excess toxins in your body can affect your hormones very negatively. So we want to get all of that moved out to really jumpstart the rest. Just add the nutrition and get everything cleared out, and your body's just going to function better.
Yeah. I'm putting together, I'm not sure what we're going to call it, but maybe something like skinny scan or I don't know, weight release or something.
If you have a name idea, send it in.
Yeah, send us an idea. But we want to combine with the lymphatic drainage for inches loss. We want to do a scan that's going to address like what's making you hang on to your pounds. Like, is it just generalized inflammation? Is it hormones? Is it toxins?
Emotions.
Is it emotions? And there is going to be a very emotional component to it. We want to combine it with a challenge to change our thought process of how we see our body, how we self-talk. So we are really wanting to make it a very holistic approach so that we can release our weight. We don't want to have weight loss. When we have weight loss, in that mindset of losing, we're going to go and find it again.
Is that a holistic with a W or with an H?
So normally with an H, but the like nutritional coaching that I have, it's actually with a W.
Yeah.
So because we want to
as a
think
whole.
As a
Yeah.
whole, we want to think of the whole person, and so we want to come alongside people and help them if they, sometimes we just need some. What's the word? Accountability, somebody to help us walk through and go, this is really hard. Yep. And we're right here and we're going to help you.
Direction goes really great with that.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, the piece that I like that you guys do is that you already have it built into your entire framework that emotions are a part of it. And so it's like almost like if you have been working in therapy and trying to figure things out and it's only gotten you so far, like you can almost like take it farther than you could with like mental health therapy.
I have a background of psychology.
Talk about it.
Well, I studied psychology for a few years. I did not go into that workforce. I went into massage therapy, another way to help people. But I always fall back on just learning about emotions, why we hold on to things, why it's so difficult to let go of things, and just what trauma does to the body. And I like to use that background as a way to help me know which direction to go in order to help someone.
Where does trauma go in the body?
All over.
It does.
All over.
It does.
Everybody holds different patterns. It's different with the individual.
Yeah. There's, like a lot of times fear or worry will hold itself in the kidneys and bladder. And so, if somebody is having kidneys or, recurrent like bladder infections and those kind of things, it can be rooted in the emotions that they carry. A lot of times, like liver is the seat of anger and, distrust and rage or envy or like kind of the bitterness. And so a lot of times, we will have issues with our liver, gallbladder, things being sluggish or whatever. And it's because we are hanging on to some emotions that we have to let go. Yeah.
And Kendra can help you let go of them.
Kendra can help you let go of them. That's right. We have tissue.
Yeah.
So
yeah. We had to bring a whole new box of tissue in here for whenever I had my massage with Kendra. I'm not gonna lie.
That's right.
It's all right. It's always a safe space.
That's right. That's right.
For sure. Well, is there anything that you wanted to talk about that you didn't get to talk about?
Not that I can think of.
No, we're just really excited to be here. We just moved into this new location just a little over a month ago, and we're just so excited to get our name out there, meet people, share what we do,
Start a podcast.
I know Charli's
guest
really
on Charli's podcast.
yeah, and then just help people feel better. That's really our vision.
Yes.
So,
where do you want people to find you at?
like our different, where they can find us at.
Yeah, like how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can find us on, like, if you just Google search us.
Social media.
We're on Facebook.
Where do you want people
Instagram.
to Google search?
So Google search, you would just look up Thrive Wellness, but a lot of times people will just type in like massage or natural health and we pop up. But yeah, so that's there. Then there's Facebook. That's under Thrive Wellness Siloam Springs. Instagram, I think, is just Thrive Wellness Siloam.
I think so.
And I have a LinkedIn. Do you have a LinkedIn?
I have a LinkedIn.
Yeah. So LinkedIn would be Heather McCaney and Kendra Smith. Yeah. And yeah.
Cool. Well, I will link all of those in the show notes. And as always, like, share, follow, give us a review. If you want to come on the show, let me know. If you just want to hang out, that's fine too. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next week. Okay. Love you. Bye.